Guide You, walking in brotherhood. Government spreading the righteousness, but the raw reality upon the table, not to come back into a false sense of security. Does the righteous and the lofty make I believe? We are the Rasta Guide, long as I am able, long as I am able, just as long as I am able. For the balance, we got blessing it too. For the balance, them sweat is on their secret too. Come on and tell them to go little more till that's the truth. In my place is a ANU Rasta Guide You.
We are now in tune. On the one, the force itself. At this time, we call it the Master Blaster Jamming. I am the Rastafari, your brother of the Underground News Network, coordinator, the Republic of Rastafari, Tall Ayman I. I'm somewhat perplexed by the plethora of information of no relevance which reach me each day in a time of great crisis. None of it addresses current issues. It appears that the broadcasters wish, like the rappers, to boast of their research. It's a fact that there are oil spills in the Gulf of Mexico. None of these broadcasters will take the journey down there and investigate. They will send to my personal message box video after video of information which is over 30 years behind time. Some of them do not realize that they themselves were born out of time. Not realizing they are to be students in this hour, not teachers. We are less than 2 years from the pole shift of 2012, and many are blinded because, as they say, and as they've been saying for years, nothing has happened yet. Not realizing that it's been happening for over 30 years, and it's about to climax. It takes a hell of a lot of heat to make waters flow. The heat melts the ice. Your refrigerator works on this principle. Heat is generated to make ice or cold. And when in sex, the heat is kindled, then in time, the waters of life flow. If you get my point. So we see the climax takes some time unless something is wrong with you. It's 2010. Many are behind the curve. The consciousness shift many are waiting on happened in the 80s when NASA spotted the elliptical orb ship Nibiru. So many were, as I said, born out of time, and some ahead of time. But thank God there are a few young ones, as young as 19, who got the message correct. There are many of you who are having dreams of Nibiru. Many of you have related your stories to me. Keep your minds open. Many of you young ones are having visions of Nibiru by smoking the ganja. Many of you are finding your true self. Many of you have come to the sad conclusion that you are evil. I have said that evil is ofttimes ignorance, not knowing itself to be so. I say to you, and you know who you are, stop trying to impress yourselves and others with information which is not relevant to the time. You have discovered great books, Oaspi, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Quran, Lost Book of Enki. The most pressing issue upon orb-ship Earth currently is the fact of the climate changes, pole shifting, deep water horizon event, etc. Most of you are not even 40 years of age, yet you are not learning. You are not experienced. You are students of life. Stop trying to impress. Anyone can read and relate what he has read. I ended the last discourse part 2 on speaking about a brother by the name of Adonis of the Rastafari movement. You are a fundamentalist. Stop trying to play the heavy game. You know nothing about 2012 and the pole shift. When the information came down telepathically, you were too young. And like the rest of the so-called Rastafari, you thought it was a joke years ago when I started talking about it. I'm a warrior, spiritual warrior, spiritual traveler of this world. I come to let you know that musica is a key to life, and you are now in tune. On the one, the force itself, by this time we call it the Master Blaster jamming. Thus I speak out. I tall, standing tall in Babylon. Dread out. Every time. I remember years ago, I went up to Bobo Ashanti Hill there, 9 Mile Bull Bay, when Emmanuel was dead. Bobo them say, the Father is still alive. I am not ignorant enough to believe the story that's circulating saying that His Imperial Majesty has been seen walking around in some mountains like a poor beggar. That's just like saying, like they said in the year 1992, they found his bones under a toilet. It's all a lie. The so-called Rastas want to believe he is alive. They are no better than the fundamentalist Christians who say that Jesus is Lord and He will return to redeem us. Wake up and live. God has always been a living man, but you cannot accept the fact that Anunnaki is God and are returning via the elliptical orb ship Nibiru, the 3,600 year elliptical orbit. We are all gods, and every man, Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, Bob Marley, who came to Orb-ship Earth to liberate the people, knew one thing, that God dwelled within me as me, He dwelled within you as you. So now that we black people, ones who have learned who they are themselves, now we can join with others and learn from others, which was the essence of our differences, that we learn from each other. Quran teaches us that, and we knew that over 30 years ago, but we were not like the buffoons of Jamaica, the red, gold, and green cap wearing renter Rastas who sold their soul for 5 pieces of silver and a few nuggets of gold. Commercialism took the movement, and they tell the whites that, okay, brother, you can be a Rasta too. But we get away from Leonard, the brother Leonard Howell, the father of Rastafari, who set the foundation, said Rastafari is a black liberation movement. We know that, but we have raised our conscience high. We have became one with the God. So now we join the human race and live the human race. Yes, we are one. We are all one. But first you must know yourself. Just like the Anunnaki when they came down, they saw and they created the creation, create the humans. They saw what their creation, the Bible says, they saw the daughters of men and they were fair and they went into them. That's still happening today. So some ask, why are we going through this hell? That's why we stayed down here. And the Bible says, he who puts into captive, so the Anunnaki enslaved their creation. So I in this time paid the karmic debt of our forefathers. Therefore we had to go into slavery ourselves. So we're not mad about that. We're all one. In the end we must join together. And it's dread. It's nothing pretty. It's nothing pretty, the locks. It's nothing pretty. So this is Rastafari. You are now in tune on the one, the force itself. At this time we call it the Master Blaster Jamming. I am your brother, the Rastafari. Iktar, I'm an I. Like the song of culture say, where are all the Rastas?